Pardon my attire. My name's Harry. I'm just one of these people who went to bed because I couldn't stand the thought of our new president, Grover Trump. Grover, the guy who has just gotten himself elected after missing out on one term, like Grover Cleveland. So that's my new name for our new president. I presume he won the election. I went to bed before it got to that point. And so, Grover. You know what Grover's going to do? Grover is going to give us as a health secretary Robert Kennedy. Not the guy who was the man who was assassinated when he ran for president, who was beloved by people in the Democratic Party because he was the little brother of John Kennedy from Camelot fame. But this guy, Robert Kennedy, is a very different character. He picked up a dead bear on the highway, put it in the trunk of his car for bear soup or pemmican, and then he went to New York and put it in the hot sun in his car, and it got to stinking, and he got thinking, well, I probably better not eat this stuff. But I got to get rid of it somehow. I had a great idea. He took it to Central Park with a bike that he was going to get rid of and made it look like the bear was killed by a bicyclist who left their bicycle behind. And it caused the New York police a couple of days of head scratching to figure out what the hell just happened. Anyway, it turns out Robert Kennedy is this guy who doesn't like vaccines. So I guess we're going to start having huge cases of mumps epidemics and measles epidemics because he's going to make sure that states that don't want to go around giving kids vaccines anymore can make sure that people can keep their right not to be vaccinated. Not like those poor soldiers that George Washington made sure got vaccines from smallpox so that his army wouldn't die before he had a chance to fight the British in the Revolutionary War. So this is what we're going to get. Now, it turns out that not only is Robert Kennedy a great health advocate and an anti-vaxxer, but he also is going to make sure that we don't have fluorine in our water anymore. Now, this I remember very well as a baby boom kid because we had fluorine in our water. It was fluoridated at the insistence of the ADA, the American Dental Society, because it had been discovered evidently that some places where there was a lot of natural fluorine in the water, fluoride, safe oxide component, like rust, only in this case fluorine oxide. People didn't have much in the way of cavities in their teeth, and they put their two and two together, and they thought, we can put just a little bit of fluoride in water, and public will have lots of protection because fluoride strengthens dentin in teeth, and it makes it less pervious to bacterial infections. Well, most of the water was pretty well fluoridated by the time I got to be born in the baby boom generation. But there was another thing that made it more difficult to not have cavities in your mouth, and that was all of a sudden major cereal manufacturers started selling sugary cereals like Kellogg's Frosted Flakes and Sugar Smacks, and they advertised all this great stuff to sell huge amounts of cereal by saying it's the most healthy meal of the day. Just add some milk and it's got just about all the nutrition you need for a whole day. And by the time I went to the dentist, I had 11 cavities, and that dentist was Bruce Miller, one of my dad's best friends from college. And my uncle, he became a dentist too. We suddenly had dentistry all over the place. And so by the time I got to be in high school, most kids had pretty doggone good teeth. We started brushing our teeth with fluoride. our toothpaste, and we had fluoridated water. But you know what? It was the time of the Red Scare, and a lot of Americans were really paranoid about those Ruskies. Well, you know what? It was a communist plot. They were putting things like fluoride in our water. It was the commies that were doing it, and 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 most of the people tried to laugh that off. But we had the John Birch Society, the people who were kind of behind Donald Trump, and they were telling everybody, don't put fluoride in the water. Now, as I said, the first time I got to the dentist, I had 11 cavities, and now that I had a dentist and was using fluoride toothpaste, my cavities finally got under control after a whole lot of fillings in my jaw in those early years. uh, Thanks to the dentists who are bravely fighting off the fear of communism. But now Robert Kennedy is going to be our new health czar, and he's going to stop fluoride along with the vaccines. And so we can expect to pretty soon look like all those poor Tahitian girls, the beautiful Tahitian girls that Van Gogh painted. Not Van Gogh, it was his good buddy. Oh, Gauguin, Paul Gauguin painted. All the beautiful women who started getting all this Western cereal and sugar, stuff like that. And it rotted their teeth out. And suddenly all the beautiful Tahitian girls had rotten teeth because they didn't have dentists and dental care and fluoride in their water. But we Americans, we had good teeth. I remember the Brits, they had terrible teeth. They didn't straighten their teeth or anything. And so you'd see these British actors, and they had terrible teeth, not like the American actors from Hollywood who had the benefit of baby boom dentists to protect them. And now thanks to Grover Trump and his offer to let Robert Kennedy manage our water supplies, this is one of the things that we get to look forward to. And I'm going to sign off here, except I will mention one other thing. When I moved to Minnesota, there was one holdout city. And it was Brainerd, Minnesota. And every time I drive through Brainerd and I see their water tower, I remember those stories of how the Brainerd people were panicked and they did not want anybody to fluoridate their water. This is, after all, Minnesota water. When I was a kid, I saw the Hamm's beer commercials. Hamm's the beer that is refreshing. Hamm's the beer refreshing. Hamm's, that's not quite the words, but it was to an Indian tune with a bum, 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 bum beat. So we knew that Minnesota had great water, and the people up in Brainerd, they knew we had great water. And pretty soon, everybody's going to have no more fluoride in their water, and we're going to go back to lots and lots and lots of dental decay. And this will be thanks to Grover Trump. I can't wait for the presidency he's going to bring us.